Arena Bowl 22 features the best of the East and the best of the West.
The year was 2008, and for the first time since 1960, Philadelphia was a champion in football. Arena football. The Soul won it all in New Orleans. They're back and on track for New Orleans again. Jaws is at the helm, along with sports' most dynamic team of owners. Call them the Soul Men. And to get ready, they have gathered the league's best young quarterback, the league's leading receiver, the league's best runner, a hard-hitting head coach, to go along with the league's most thrilling acrobatic touchdown machine, the Soulmates, and you, America's best fans, in America's greatest city for sports.
That's a great one. Stokes stole that one out of the seats, and he's going to break it for a touchdown! Stokes for the 15!
Hi everyone, this is Mayor Mike Nutter. Welcome to the Philadelphia Soul story, a championship team for our championship city. You know, back in 2008, the same year that I was inaugurated, this team won the first football championship for Philadelphia since 1960, and they're ready to do it again in 2012. As you watch and learn about the Philadelphia Soul, join me in following this team to their next Arena Bowl championship.
I've never been more excited about an upcoming season.
He's a winner. He's a flat-out winner.
We brought in a coach that I think the people of Philadelphia will absolutely love. We are going to be a physical football team because of our head coach, Doug Plank.
The Philadelphia Soul, your team for 2012.
Hi, I'm Lou Tilley, and I'm getting ready for my second season as the television play-by-play man of this very special team and this most exciting sport. And welcome to our show. We call it We Got This, commitment to a championship in 2012, just like they did it in 2008.
But in plus territory, D'Orazio goes to work to the end zone for Brackens. One play and a touchdown.
The Soul won it all in the summer of 2008. In front of a huge crowd in New Orleans, it all came together for a title.
We won in 2008 in New Orleans. The Arena Bowl this year is in New Orleans. We open up our season in New Orleans, you know, the regular season of the Arena Football League. So our saying right now is we're going to start the season in New Orleans with a win, and we're going to end the season in New Orleans with a win in the Arena Bowl.
Jaws was there from the start in 2004, was there to win it all in 2008, and is back again, along with co-majority owner Craig Spencer, as the Soul and the Arena Football League come back after a reorganization. The Soul's own organization had to reorganize as well, but has gotten stronger in the process.
I think what makes the Soul work is really the ownership group. I've been involved with a number of businesses and business partners through the years, but never a group like this. It is an absolute phenomenal group of people.
I'm lucky enough to have a partner like Ron, who's been in the team since day one, who obviously lives and breathes football. And under the new regime, we've got other guys that really are invested in the business of football and understand it much more than I do.
Jaws and Craig have been joined by a trio of new owners, each winners off the football field, each determined to get a share of their own championship. Pete Jaworski, that's right, Pete from Chickies and Pete's, Cosmo DiNicolo, and Marty Judge, three Rowhouse guys from Philly, joined Craig Spencer to form the Soul Men, with Jaws at the center in so many ways.
You know, for 17 years as an NFL quarterback, I had the greatest job in the world. I was a professional football player at the most prominent position of all of professional sports, that being the quarterback position, the position of decision-making, the position of leadership. And man, that was the greatest, you know, rush you could ever get, walking out of that tunnel every Sunday or Monday night and playing in the National Football League. On top of that, I got the second best job and been in professional sports broadcasting, Monday Night Football, along with John Gruden and Mike Tirico, to be the broadcast team for Monday Night Football. You know, that's the second best job in the world. And I've got other jobs too. You know, I'm Grand Jaws to my grandkids, I'm Dad to my kids. You know, I'm Ron to my wife. So those are jobs. You know, and I love those jobs as well. Later in my career, I was looking for, hey, what was I going to do? you know, when the football stopped, because, hey, one play, it's over with. You know, you blow the knee out, so anything can happen.
Jaws has built a personal empire of private business, including his portfolio of top-flight golf courses, hotels, and, of course, the top job in football broadcasting on Monday Night Football.
You know, in Carolina, has done a real nice
But
job.
still finds time to connect with the local fans on his own radio show, and, of course, his baby, The Soul, and the Arena Football League.
I love arena football. As an old quarterback, I love the passing game and I love the scoring. And you know, we were 6-12 last year, and that didn't sit well with anyone in the ownership group, our front office. No one was happy. We've revamped about everything you could possibly do on the football field and in our organization.
We'd like to introduce the new head coach of the Philadelphia Soul, Doug Plank. Coach?
We brought in a coach that I think the people of Philadelphia will absolutely love. We are going to be a physical football team because of our head coach, Doug Plank. He played with the Chicago Bears. He was a great player. The 46 defense of Buddy Ryan was named after his number, 46, Doug Plank. So he's going to bring that physical nature, that Philly style, that toughness that you have to have in the game of football. I'm excited. You know, Doug beat me up a few times, you know, on the field. And, you know, I played against him many times. You know, and I saw him coach in the Arena Football League with Ohio State University, with the New York Jets. I know the pedigree he has as a coach, and he's going to bring a tremendous passion to the Philadelphia Soul.
You know, I think anybody that's an athlete has a very competitive instinct to them, and I think most people see Ron as an announcer on Monday Night Football, and you know, the times that you hear him comment on things, he's very much under control. But that athlete is still alive down inside of him, and especially when he gets on the sidelines watching games, that competitive instinct has a tendency to start coming out, as it does in all of us. And so, you know, yeah, there's still plenty left in his tank.
But I've never felt better coming into a season than I feel so strong about our organization. And beyond that, our personnel department has done a tremendous job, headed up by Tom Goodhines. I mean, Jack Klebe, Lou Russo, these guys have busted their tail to find the best players in the Arena Football League and bring them to Philadelphia. So not only do we have a great coach, a great coaching staff, just a number of people at every level of the organization that are rock-solid Arena Football League people.
When we come back, you'll meet Craig Spencer, a very special man who's been there from the very start with this team. And we'll also meet the new owners of the team. They call themselves the Rowhouse 3, the new coach and the new players that promise to make this a great season. But right now, I'd like to invite you to be a part of it.
With Doug Plank now coaching the team, number 46 from the famed Chicago Bears 46 defense, the Soul presents the 46-pack.
Hey Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Soul are inviting you to call now and purchase a Doug Plank 46-pack. What is it? Tickets to 4 games, including the home opener on April 1st. Go to PhillyWeGotThis.com. That's 4 games, plus all the benefits of being part of a championship team and championship season for $46. You want in? Go to PhillyWeGotThis.com or call the Soul office at 888-789-SOUL and talk to your personal representative who will take great care of you for the entire season. Go to PhillyWeGotThis.com.
It's meant to be an offensive extravaganza. Everybody comes out and has a great time. Everything moves real quick. And the thing is, it's putting points on the board. There's defense involved. Turnovers are critical. But for the most part, it's all offense all the time.
We won the championship. 2 guys knowing nothing about football in Philadelphia against NFL owners, NBA owners, NHL owners. And we beat them, and we won the championship. I don't know that it gets cooler than that.
Craig Spencer. He was the man who started it all back in 2004, along with his prime partner then, and still good friend, John Bon Jovi.
And John had a statement that he used to always say, and we really believed it. We want players of character, not characters, on the team. And that was from day one.
John Bon Jovi has moved on, but Craig rebuilt his team with character and the same expectations on the field and off.
The Arena Football League, and as part of its credo, is the most fan-friendly sport, professional sport there is, and it really is.
This man knows business. Craig Spencer is one of the city's prime commercial real estate developers. This is his personal jewel, the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in the shadow of City Hall, with the new residences at the Ritz as well. But they are just one component of the Spencer Group. His Arden Group owns and manages hotels and properties all around the world. But his heart is with his soul.
I had 2 different fans come up to me. He came up and grabbed me and he said, "Craig, I've been a fan since year 1. I'm a season ticket holder again, and I need to thank you." I go, "No, let me thank you." He goes, "No, I need to thank you. You guys said from day 1 that you were going to include the fans in your team. We were going to become part of it. And I will tell you, I've never seen," and I go to Sixers, Flyers, Eagles, and Phillies. This guy's tickets to all of them. He goes, "Nobody treats us the way you do. We're not saying they treat us poorly, but nobody goes to the level that the Philadelphia Soul goes to in terms of including us in every aspect of what you're doing and making us feel really important to you, and that without us, there is no you." And we feel that with the Philadelphia Soul. I had 2 separate people tell me the same thing in a different way, and that's just the way the Arena Football League is built.
And so it was me and my mom, because I'm going to call it Chicky and Pete's, and my mom being Chicky. "I'm going to give you top billing, Chick," and she's sort of like that. And the sign actually said Chickies and Pete's when it got delivered, but it was supposed to be Chicky and Pete's. But because he spelled it wrong, we got it half price. So never knowing that the place was going to become famous.
Pete Jaworski, Pete as in Chickies and Pete's. And yes, it was spelled wrong, but the name stuck and grew into a giant of sports bars and fun.
Yeah, I grew up in Northeast Philadelphia, Castor Gardens, great neighborhood to grow up, manicured, and I went to a public school up there, and of course I went to high school, Northeast High School, which is like the highest part of my education, is Northeast High School. So I do give back to the community up there as far as Northeast High School. I love my high school. I never missed a high school football game, and I played football there, and I went right to work after that. I mean, this was something in my family, you learned what your father learned. My father had a grocery store, and
like a little corner grocery store?
A little corner deli, yeah. It really wasn't anything to speak of, although it was very busy. And one day he decided that he wanted to purchase the bar at the corner where he would occasionally have a cocktail, like every day. And he purchased this. He spoke to my mother, and she said, "No, absolutely not, because you drink too much, and you'll drink like you'll be there every day." Yeah. He goes, "No, it'll be like the deli, hon." He said, "In the deli, I don't eat lunch meat every day." And she was like, "Well," and she goes, "And Peter, your son, he loves this kind of business. He's going to be great at this."
Pete was a huge supporter of the Soul from the start because it came from his heart and his passion for the game he loves of football.
I love being at the games, and my children love being at the games, and my friends love being at the games, and going into the locker room after the game and listening to the coaches and so on. It brings me back to the old days at Northeast High School. Not the same level, it's a much higher level, but to me, that's all I knew was football. And I love being an owner of a Soul. It's your army. Your army against a city's army, another army. So if you're playing New York, it's you against them. It's their best against your best army. Of course, there's no guns like there was years ago. Hundreds of years ago, that's what they had. Now we just have players. And I love being a part of it. And when the Soul came to Philadelphia and they asked me to be part of it, not as an owner, but only as like an advertiser and spiritually and like to get the guys together and introduce them to the city of Philadelphia, I jumped at it.
And Chickies and Pete's, South Philly has become the off-the-field home of the Soul. The Soul fans' own locker room, if you will, where you're invited after every game. And for big announcements, like naming Doug Plank as the new head coach. And special events, like the night the team was there to size the fans' fingers for championship rings for the championship season to come.
I know it sounds crazy, but that's how committed these men are to winning a championship in the year ahead. They're already fitting you for a championship ring. And here's how you can get yours.
Hey Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Soul are inviting you to call now and own your very own 2012 World Championship ring. And it's only $46. Go to PhillyWeGotThis.com. That's 4 games plus all the benefits of being part of a championship team, including the World Championship ring. You want in? Go to PhillyWeGotThis.com or call the Soul office at 888-789-SOUL and talk to your personal representative. Go to PhillyWeGotThis.com. By the way, what's your ring size?
action-packed, rock'em sock'em, balls-to-the-wall football. You have great halftime shows, followed up by a second half of electric football. You're on the edge of your seat till the very last second ticks off the clock.
We call ourselves the Rowhouse Gang with the soul. We all come up through the ranks, and we love each other, and we all care about winning.
Just like Pete Jaworski, Marty Judge is a city kid from Mayfair. And so is Cosmo DiNicola, who rounds out the Rowhouse Three of Owners from Port Richmond via North Catholic.
Well, I think it's important to understand the fans and understand the psyche of Philadelphia. I think about it, our #1 sports hero is a mythical figure. It's Rocky Balboa, and you know what, I think, every one of those movies that I watched, and they each have a kind of an individual flavor, but I just like Rocky 3 probably the best, because I think it personifies Philadelphia. It talks about, kind of being knocked down sometimes and getting back off that canvas.
Cosmo is a former Arena League owner from nearby Wilkes-Barre, PA, and is a self-made success in business. Just like the newest owner of the Soul, Marty Judge of the Judge Group.
March 1st of 1970, my dad lent me $2,000 and pushed me into going into business. I was only 25 years old, and I was only out of school for like a year and a half. And it was his idea. It was his drive, and I think I fulfilled it.
His Judge Group now is a $300 million company with offices in 37 U.S. cities and 5 nations, but still focused on Philly with his soul.
I've known Ron Jaworski with the Maxwell Club for probably 25 to 30 years. I've been involved in the Maxwell Club for years. It's a football club. It competes with the Heisman Trophy. And I've known Ron, and I got to know Vince Papale, Carl Peterson, all the major football guys in this area and throughout the United States kept me involved in that, and I became a director with the Maxwell Club. I'm a guy that came up through the streets, guy that loves sports, loved Philadelphia, moved to Jersey, loved the Delaware Valley, and has always been involved in sports. The fact that I bring the Irish luck to the Soul, and so that's why they got me in, I think.
Hope you're enjoying We Got This, commitment to a championship in 2012. And by now you're beginning to understand why they can make that statement and that kind of a commitment. And they'd really like you to be on board as well. Here's how you can join Doug Plank and the 46th Defense and be a part of the team.
Hey Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Soul are inviting you to call now and purchase a Doug Plank 46-pack. What is it? Tickets to 4 games, including the home opener on April 1st. Go to PhillyWeGotThis.com. That's 4 games, plus all the benefits of being part of a championship team and championship season for $46. You want in? Go to PhillyWeGotThis.com or call the Soul office at 888-789-SOUL and talk to your personal representative who will take great care of you for the entire season. Go to PhillyWeGotThis.com.
Well, my family forced me to go. I didn't want to go because I didn't like sports at the time, like at all. So I was like, fine, I guess I'll go. Well, as soon as I walked in the doors, I'm like, oh my God, everyone started talking to me and they're like, come on, make a sign. I'm like, okay, I'll make a sign, like, yay. I'm like, okay, go Soul. So I get to my seat and I'm like, yay, I have a sign, go Soul. And then so I start watching, I'm like, whoa, this is interesting. And everyone's all like friendly and I'm like, okay. So it was like the first time I started liking sports, like football and everything.
We'd like to introduce the new head coach of the Philadelphia Soul, Doug Plank. Coach?
In this offseason, the Soul owners took a bold move forward towards that championship when they introduced Doug Plank as their new head coach. Doug Plank, the number 46 of the famed Chicago Bears, Buddy Ryan defense, and more.
Well, most people don't realize that he designed so many different types of schemes, coverages, blitzes, and Buddy never called anybody by his name. It was always a number or you were an adjective. So when he wrote things on the board, he didn't write X's and O's, he wrote numbers. And he one morning we came in and he described this new scheme that he was going to run the next week. And I came down from the free safety position and played the middle linebacker position. And I think it was Otis Wilson, one of our linebackers, said, "Buddy, what are you going to call this scheme?" Because this is something he did almost every week. And he grabbed a piece of chalk and turned it sideways and circled my number 3 times and said, "We're going to call this the 46 defense."
So he's going to bring that physical nature, that Philly style, that toughness that you have to have in the game of football.
You know, one guy that really got my attention early on in college was Woody Hayes, obviously. Just a rough, tough guy, extremely patriotic, loved his country, and just really taught the principles of trying to get better each and every day. Getting into the Chicago Bears, Jack Pardee was my first coach, you know, a guy that played in the league and just a really tough guy. And, you know, then obviously having Buddy Ryan as a coach and Mike Ditka. Mike Ditka was about communication. And I told a story about Mike told the team that he was going to take them to the Super Bowl. I've never heard that from any coach up to that point in time. And guess what? It happened in 3 years.
We really focused on Doug. He has an amazing football pedigree. You know, we all know of the Chicago Bears and the tie-in to Buddy Ryan. I asked him what his favorite moment was in his playing career, and I didn't realize that he had 3 interceptions in one game against Broadway Joe Namath. So it's kind of an interesting factoid that really brought home how great of a player he was. He coached for 4 years. He was Coach of the Year 2 years. He had tremendous programs, championship caliber teams. He's a strong leader, very defensive minded, and even though we say arena football is all about the quarterback, and it is quarterback and offense, you get 2 or 3 stops on the defensive side and you have a great chance to win the game.
Doug reminds me of Dick Vermeil. Doug is bringing, in my opinion, the championship back.
If any fans or any Soul players doubt how tough he is, just watch Doug Plank in action in his day.
Coming up the middle, Lofton concentrates on the ball, takes Plank's hit, and it was a tough one. Up goes Hagan, and then
the game has changed, at least from a tackling standpoint. Now, I think a lot of the rules and changes that they are trying to implement, I think they're all good. They're trying to protect player safety. You know, I look back on some of those hits and wonder myself how I ended up getting up. It's not for the faint of heart.
And again, he's at the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Donovan Morgan!
But Doug no longer plays, and the indoor game requires some great offensive weapons. So the Soul went out and got the best.
Great philosophy, and it trickles down from Jaws. You know, Ron Jaworski at the top. You don't recruit backups, you recruit starters. And so Doug in his approach as well, and we've just taken that mantra.
Tom Goodhines, the Soul general manager, took Jaws' advice. On offense, he went big in this offseason. That's how they do things in Texas, where Goodhines raided the Dallas roster. First, he signed their coach, Clint Dozell, to run the Soul's attack. And then he went after the heart of that Dallas offense. With the league's record-setting fullback, Derrick Ross, the league's leading pass catcher, Tiger Jones, and a quarterback the Soul thinks will lead them back to New Orleans and the Arena Bowl, Dan Radenbaugh.
Even if you just look at him physically as a quarterback, you know, 6'4", 220. He's a guy that has the size and the ability to make things happen, can take a hit, great pocket presence, a young quarterback who last year was his first year as a full-time starter, and he threw 90 touchdowns. Tiger has that versatility where he'll be a perfect marriage with Captain Morgan on the other side. I think that when you create those opportunities, you don't have that one go-to guy that you have to get the ball to that guy, and that's how your offense and how well your offense moves forward and is successful in this league. When you have those other options, Donovan's not having a great night, you still have a Tiger Jones.
Goodhines also signed the leading runner in the league.
It shattered the league record with 600+ rushing yards. A guy that played with the Kansas City Chiefs and is able to be a threat.
And for good measure, the Soul signed the league's leading kick returner and one of the most versatile offensive players in the AFL, Jeff Hughley.
I mean, just his nickname alone, ridiculous. The return game, he was all Iron Man last year. A guy that can play more than just a return guy, with a guy his size and his ability and his elusiveness.
The Soul wasn't done there. In this pass-happy league, you'd better be able to defend the airways as well.
We get Tanner Varner, who's an all-league performer, had the injury, a little shortened season last year. Then we focused in on who are the top defensive backs in the league. Rayshawn Kaiser out of Orlando had 16 interceptions. First team All-Arena guy 2 straight years. Just a phenomenal athlete. Very good cover guy, great hands. And then the other guy we're very excited about was Mishai Robinson, arguably the best instinctive defensive back in the league. Knows how to hit, very instinctive with the ball, but not only when he gets the ball, he knows what to do with it. He'll get you the turnover, but then also bring it to the house, score the touchdowns.
You're a lot better coach with better players. I just know that the plays work a lot better when I get better players, on our team. So I don't believe it's about the scheme. I think the scheme should fit the players shouldn't fit the scheme.
We're really focused on Doug. He has an amazing football pedigree.
We will win the Arena Football League championship.
I expect to be the world champions again.
We'll have the championship because of Doug.
When we were deciding on a title for the show, there was no hesitation among that group of owners. We got this, a commitment to a championship in 2012. What other pro team would promise you a victory in the Arena Bowl when it's all said and done? And to prove their point, right now, they're willing to fit you for your own sole championship ring.
Hey Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Soul are inviting you to call now and own your very own 2012 World Championship ring. And it's only $46. Go to PhillyWeGotThis.com. That's 4 games plus all the benefits of being part of a championship team, including the World Championship ring. You want in? Go to PhillyWeGotThis.com or call the Soul office at 888-789-SOUL and talk to your personal representative. Go to PhillyWeGotThis.com. By the way, what's your ring size?
We are very kids-oriented. We have so many kids there. We have things that we're doing all the time. And I might even get out there and cheer. They might want to come and see me get out with the cheerleaders and cheer.
It's football times 10 in a smaller, compact package.
I feel like part of a family, not just a team. The team is wonderful, it's exciting.
It's action-packed football.
It's like hockey on steroids. You see guys flying over the boards. It's incredible.
Hey, I hope you've enjoyed We Got This, commitment to a championship in 2012. I'm Lou Tilley. I'll see you on TV throughout the season, and more importantly, I hope to see you in the Wells Fargo Center for the home games all the way through to the end and a championship in New Orleans.